from just a talent and fundamental perspective alone. Let's see if they can put anything together here on Dust2.
Where they decided to take this series, of course. 3 players into the tunnels to begin the round. Realize has hit the dirt already. I'm very curious to see how much respect Gambit actually offer their opponents, what kind of pace, aggression, tempo, etc. Gambit want to set straight out that gate. I feel like, you know, Gambit right now, having just taken that #1 spot, they've got so many things on their plate in terms of challenges and preparation that are NASR even a blip on their radar. You got to be careful. You don't want to step on a landmine when you least expect it. For the current moment, it's Gambit man advantage. We got a little bit of a lurk out from long. GameZilla trying to get control of Pit, but he loses his face. And it seems as though the T's have lost the pistol. Yeah, bomb being dropped by jaCkz as he comes up from CT spawn. A desperate 1v4 attempt left to close out this first round.
Yeah, a few mistakes here already, but they try to go for kind of that lurky strat. Let's just push a few things individually and see if one of us can get a kill, make the setup fall apart. They do have one player holding on to these different positions for Gambit, but they don't win any of those duels. But again, that's the other hard part, is that sometimes it's hard to even tell who's playing on Gambit. They all have robot aim. They all barely miss. The only difference really is that Shiro's opping. Everybody else looks like, you know, basically an aimbot with how skilled they are individually. So that's just the tough part alone. So they'll need some tactics to try and displace him. Make some magic happen, shoots him one on the side of the head. See if they have something tricky. Yeah, Dust2 quite ambitious for that reason as well. But it's weird. It's like, would you want to play Gambit on a hard map or play Gambit on an aim map? Both can be troublesome for different reasons.
Yeah, you're not going to find an easy road out no matter where this one goes. Bit of a chase up catwalk. Frag grenade does decent enough damage. Forces Gambit to fall back ever so slightly. A readjustment with Shiro taking over Goose and kind of offering over an avenue of attack for the T side. They're going to take the control that's been given to them. Obviously, Gambit aware and prepared for exactly this sort of a play, and they're met by smokes as they try to get this one going. Do you have to force your way through this? Well, off of the flash they tried. The counter flash has come back, and Hobbit, the MP9 for 2. Making a little bit of money and, again, welcoming them to move forward because there are layers on this defense. Even with Hobbit hitting the dirt, then those 2 Fomuses get to work and realize soon to die as Gambit convert from the pistol.
Team flashes?
May have been.
May have been. Saw a couple of wrong-sided assists there. But they threw the one counter smoke. Smoke's obviously so powerful because they can't be countered. They can't be dodged. They just get thrown. You can block them in certain circumstances, but if they're thrown like that, you know, you're throwing your setup smoke, your cross smoke, and then a counter smoke comes, you just got to come through it. So give it their best shot. Back to pistols, or onto pistols again. Lower control here for Gambit. They get spotted going down there. I don't think they'll be worried, but teammate dies in the back. Nafany dead out mid to this Deagle.
All right, gamer moment from the Zilla. Follows up with some damage. Sort of gets Bibu to go down into the tunnels, and, well, that ump chews him up. Exile, easy Fomus headshot. That initial damage and initial success kind of taken out of the sails for NASR in a round that, again, they're not looking to win, but rather do some damage. Bomb plant could have been nice, and regardless of it not going down, we move forward into the first gun round of Dust2, 3-0 lead for Gambit.
I imagine they'll just loosen the tie, you know, as the rounds go on. So if this rifle round's real easy, then they might try to go through with some pushes and stuff. I actually think it's important to not play with, you know, 100% respect if you are that much better than your opponent, because it only gets worse for them if you're now pushing things you wouldn't normally, if you're not giving them respect in places you would normally. It makes their life a nightmare knowing that you believe you're going to win every single aim duel. All right, so what are we going to see here from NASR? A couple of nades get exchanged at long, but jaCkz sits with it for now. Opponent behind the smoke. They're setting up in upper tunnels. Still kind of spread thin. Shiro at the flash assist, and Dementor will find a trade back through the smoke. It doesn't really open things up, but it does shuffle the CTs a bit. Now they're moving more in towards a stack on A. Mid to B is the answer from our perspective, but can NASR find it?
Shiro set up if they want to try and get into that A site as we saw on their second round. This was open for the taking last time they were here. Shiro's able to dodge the flash, and Boros gets one over his shoulder. The confidence from Shiro to go back with the deagle costs him. That op cover from Realize gives the man advantage over to the T side, but hot on their heels is Nafany. Smoke grenade meets him, and he decides to go through it. Now, that's no respects, yes.
Yeah, already.
That's ambitious, buddy.
I didn't think the tie would come off this early.
And so they are on the board, Launders. They've cracked through.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you can see those moments of confidence coming out of Gambit. For Shiro to stick around with a deagle, go into those re-peaks, thinks he can just flex his muscles.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, that walk through smoke is a whole other layer.
Yeah, make no mistake. That was disrespect,
Yeah.
for sure.
You had Inters coming up behind him, 2 flashbangs. They could have played that together, but he makes his move a little too quick. And, hey, maybe we've got a game early on.
Yeah. I mean, I like to see it. I think part of being at the top is just it's also having that bravado. But yeah, just not to, you know, if you ever lost a game because of this, that's when it would become unacceptable.
Of course.
Yeah, we're far from that. So we'll see what happens. And good for NASR that they stop it. Small win for in their books. They'll be able to buy up again. That is Gambit. Shiro on the op again. A couple of interesting trades that happened at mid. Don't know how they manufactured them. I think XANTARES got sprayed down through the smoke. Actually, that might have been at long. I think that's where he was at first. Interesting. Pulling the molly from spawn.
That's thick. Frag damage. Dementor. Down to 48 HP. That's a great name.
It is.
So is Gamezilla. Shiro's going to eat a bit of a flashbang. Takes a blind shot, falls off the angle. No matter where they go, there's going to be some sort of contact, at least by one defender here from Gambit. But it looks like mid to B may be an avenue yet again. We saw it open last round, and they didn't capitalize on it. Didn't even go exploring through the doorway. Used Catwalk to get that A plant and the round win. Hobbit resides down in the CT spawn. 2 hard B defenders and 1 man dedicated on pit. We've got Gambit very much at a distance from one another. And even more so now with a second player moving down long. Hobbit is very much on a swivel between the potential of a cap push and this mid walkout, which is what NASR decided to go for here. Smoke in his face. He could always jump up over box or even be flashed outwards.
They hit him. I'm pretty sure.
He's gonna go out, and sure enough, Gamezilla gets himself a kill. Now it's that B defense in question. Inter's flash to his eyes, shots to his chest, but he's still standing. Boros able to get the better of Nafany. It's Inter's attempt from inside the site that could still turn this back to the favor of Gambit. I like the fact that he looks to find another frag for him. And with damage done to 2 of the 3 here for the T's, it is very much a winnable retake. A little difficult with Shiro's op, a little daunting with a lack of money behind this. What do you know? They convert after their first round win. This score, 3-2, Gambit leading by 1.
They don't look like they're trying very hard.
They're warming up.
I mean, Hobbit just like, he jumped up. I think he got hit by the smoke. I think normally, okay, they weren't throwing the second smoke. He could come and shoot over top of it. Then he just kind of dropped out of the box and kept walking out and died. And just, I think it's kind of like we're hoping they make mistakes, basically. And then Inters almost pulls this back by making his play. I love that he doesn't shoot back into the smoke, waits, and then makes his move. But this has allowed NASR into the game. And at least Shiro retains the op. He'll save it. They have a couple of guns for this one.
This, of course, a site of the NASR camp. We've got 4 players, all side by side, plus coach.
I like how, I feel like this is almost the ideal setup for a room like this.
Yeah, you like it? The 2-3?
You got the command center coach in the back.
We need more defenses on the starboard side. Hold the left flank.
I like how he's Danish. Connor's he's a sound sponge.
This tech pause was for the sake of a sweatshirt.
That's important. I too can game with a sweater.
Ugh.
Something I thought I would never be able to do, but I kind of like it.
Do you roll the sleeves up at least? What about the
Especially-
wrist resistance on the tabletop?
I don't let it bother me.
No?
I don't let it get in my way.
All right.
I haven't changed my settings in 30 days. I no longer blame extraneous circumstances or my peripherals or my resolution. It's New Leaf gameplay for me.
You playing on 1440p yet?
No, not like you and Flom.
Is Flom a 1440 gamer?
He is, yeah,
My man.
but you're not Flom.
No, I'm not.
Neither am I. I don't know how you guys do it. I won't lie.
Dude, I can see the eyes of my enemies. I can see the fear on their faces.
It's crispy, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. This round, of course, brought to you by a two-man save for Gambit. So these are the kinds of rounds it's like now we're watching NASR to just like make sure they maximize on these moments, okay? Gambit, ambitious push through smoke is what gave NASR that easy route to a first round. Then they converted by, again, maybe some haphazard decision or just, non-ferocious gameplay out of Gambit. Gambit are getting a little upset. Like, 2 rounds, man, that's what we wanted to give them across this series.
This will be a good test.
It should be.
Because we got the stack here from Gambit. Oh, and Nafny goes down. He does have just the USP, but numbers are really big here because it gives Shiro opportunities to shoot. He can use his teammates like flashbangs almost. And they give him opportunities to take shots.
Almost snapped it down on him. Shiro's got that answer just through the top of the smoke. He's also got some pawns ahead of him. I say pawn, but Exile does have that M4A4, and he puts it to work for a single kill. The sniper takes a second. 3 CTs from spawn could go for the boost.
Oh, that's going to work, isn't it?
Gamezilla. Oh, perfect. Shiro over the top of it, and there you have it, folks. 1 op, 1 M4, all they need with the pistols sprinkled in, and now a second sniper added to the tally for Gambit at no cost. 4-2 as Gambit win a round where they had the disadvantage.
Obviously a really situational boost. Not many times you wouldn't have to worry about like a late cat or something like that, but versus long, that's a sweet situation. Maybe, yeah, maybe, I mean,
I love it.
Yeah, maybe they thought it was jumping. There's no jumping icon.
Right, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
That was definitely a NASR pog.
Boros. I don't know if it's a reference to Magic the Gathering.
Can
but
I
it could
borrow
be.
a stat blood sport?
Gambit now warmed up, making some moves. Like, that round looked like they were trying to win it. Contrast that round to when, like, you're walking out through cat smokes. You got Hobbit with a face full of smoke on CT spawn. Like, now they're getting sweaty, and that one's crisp.
Yo, Boros peak?
Hits him with the headshot. You corner camper. And now there is no chance at a rotation really for Gambit without any adversity. They'd have to face Gamezilla down here at the bottom of middle. And he's on his own. His closest teammate now going tunnels alongside the rest of the squad.
We don't have Exile pushing long here. Shiro's opping on A. So, I mean, they're fine towards the A site, but the rotations are slow. They're not watching mid either, so they're going to forget about enters. Allow the spray down to take place. He's going to make it. Maybe a fourth. No. The no-scope trade from Realize, and that'll be all they need. Now, Exile, he's quite far away, but yeah, he put his Nikes on. Running down mid. The 1v2 is still potentially on. Man, Inter's almost saved the day completely by himself.
That's all it takes, right? One unchecked corner. You find yourself in a world of hurt. Here's the replay of back plat. Missed first op shot, and the repeat costs him.
This was actually a really tricky setup because
No scope.
no one would play close left tunnels if you thought mid B was a threat, right? If you had to worry about door and window. So for whatever reason, Gambit felt very comfortable about the idea that they would come back to tunnels. And yeah, like the positions they were playing were not natural to defend against a split. So maybe they had the idea that they could either push through tunnels control if they came, and then have Inters fight that way, and then Nafny could look up to the window, or they were spotting over the smoke for that mid B, but caught him off guard well enough. Just no op damage there to seal the deal.
I mean, you know, one no-scope is what separates that from being a 4K spray down, complete total lockdown, behold, and a round win to the favor of Gambit. Slight margin, but you take what you can get, including long A control. GameZilla able to get out towards blue. Hobbit not wanting to stick around as he is alone. Reinforcements towards the catwalk for him, but they concede a little bit of map control. Gambit have done this multiple rounds, whether that's catwalk they give over for the execute of NASR or even that mid. This time it's long, and you see them respond accordingly, pushing down into the lower tunnels, making sure no lurker from the T side can get up there, and stacking on A strong.
I don't think, yeah, Gambit are probably not scared of a 5 long hit here, so I think NASR just, you know, smartly waiting to see if they try to push back for control. But, oh, okay. They'll change up the round a little bit. Just go for pick control, minute left. They still have time to do whatever they want, so they're going to pull back, leave him in pit for the distraction, see if Gambit look and get some map control, and Anafany's going to sniff out their plan a little bit. Here, it's going to be quite clear they might make some kind of rotation. Smoke comes down at the 50-second mark, as where NASR are probably going to get a little bit scared. And Anafany plans to continue delaying as they clearly plan to come forward still into B.
They're going to show a little presence. That's going to burn down the clock to at least the 20-second mark. That's when he should expect the execute. Just enough time for Gambit to try and throw some reinforcements over. Hobbit finds that contact down in tunnels, and he takes one with him. But now you can see that desperation start to sink in. They think they can sprint on A. Shiro gets aggressive, finds the bomb carrier first and foremost, and a sidearm's not good enough. At that same time, Realize gets his teeth into the A site. 1 second the difference. Oh, but there's just not time.
Surely has it.
Oh, there is just enough on that clock for the bomb plant. Boiled down to milliseconds and millimeters. NASR tie this game at 4 apiece.
The only reason I give him the benefit of the doubt.
Chance.
I mean, yes, going for the 1v3. He's already got the first kill.
No kit.
Player on car, right?
Just looking for an exit.
Okay. I had to give him the benefit of the doubt because he could have always planned it for Cat properly.
Which is what I thought.
He took an extra step into the side. I was like, if you lose because of this, right? So I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt here. So yeah, of course, if you put the bomb down with 4 seconds on the clock, it goes down 100%. Technically, the bomb takes 3-point-something seconds to go down, but as soon as that clock hits 3, the millisecond it hits 3, you pretty much have no chance. Either because of the animation or whatever. So, yeah, in the situation. And sometimes with the different UIs and stuff, the clock, because it's such a precise thing, you can't be exactly sure every single time, but yeah.
I'm curious if that's one of those moments that has left NASR like, man, we are the best team ever. Like, calculated rotate, cleared the corners, traded Shiro, caught Hobbit lower, didn't give anybody multi-kills. You know, Hobbit gets one, Shiro gets one, but they're walking into a USP stack, and this would be a bit of a tragedy. Hobbit,
They don't know about him still.
Yeah, silent USP, keeps him in the corner. Inter's taking GameZilla, pushes this to the 2v1. Now they know exactly where he's at, but he still has that bomb ahead of him. And, you know, a couple headshots with the sidearm could have spelled the difference, but instead, we now have Gambit trailing by 1.
Don't say it like that. It's not a big deal.
We have Gambit losing to NASR.
I would say, so that last round, you know, Anafany plays it so well, and
Of course.
the time, everything was done really, really well by Gambit versus that long control and then the play back. You know, Anafany kept his ear to the ground in case they were going to try anything tricky, and then delayed properly. And it came down to the final second or two on that emergency rotation of Cat. So they're one trade away from just winning. Even if Gambit don't get all the kills, they definitely win on time. So overall, it was good, but it's great to see that NASR, you know, they're fighting hard and they can keep up with the trades when they need to. And they've, you know, small victory here as they get the tack time out of Gambit.
Showing that Gambit can bleed. At least a little bit.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Missed stop shot. Counts cross. Grenades on full display towards long. Ooh, a little boost, huh? Trying to get that cheeky plat angle. Looking for a bit of information. nawwk offers it. I like the pace out of NASR. You know, I feel like, you know, lesser teams sometimes they get lost in those moments, those late squeezes. Oh, unfortunate. His head just pops through.
How unlucky was that?
Big head problems.
Floating in a cloud.
Hobbit gonna spot some kneecaps as they round this mid corner. Gamezilla falling to the M4 is now a 2-man advantage back to Gambit. So odds are we are tied at 5. 40 seconds to spare here. Sound cue offered over in middle, but nawwk, he takes to the corner while he's blinded, and syrson has that crossfire for him. A very clean round coming out of Gambit. The B tunnel push was shut down. Unfortunate moment inside of that smoke, and then you saw NASR just trying to pull. Ooh, that is clean enough. Oh, goes for the second, won't find it. Tied at 5, Gambit making sure they don't run away with any sort of a lead.
Yeah, sometimes when they're losing one trade, everyone just starts lurking really quickly, which, you know, was obviously a sign that your team isn't totally prepared for every situation, but that's perfectly normal. Nice shot here from Realize. And they get some damage off, but they don't have enough money to buy, so let's see what the eco strat looks like here for NASR. If got anything interesting. Obviously can't be a long round. They've got one flash to work with. Everybody grouped up. You know, the late AG comes through sometimes. Or just a deeper Molotov. This is going to be an exile farm, is the question.
Ooh, nawwk. Nasty. As if 2 incendiaries weren't enough, the smoke goes deep door. They use that flash instead of pushing out long just to get into the close position. Exile going to have very comfortable cover with Big Blue beside him. 4-man spray down off the side of the AK. And a 3rd incendiary to get rid of the evidence.
Burns the bodies. The secret is water.
Gambit 6'5".
They all look like they're 5'6", but...
Guns back up from the T side. Ooh, there we have it. Realize.
Holy, that was... I mean, he even had... There was like cover of the smoke for most of that shot, so that's beautiful.
syrson responding. Op kill of his own. There is still a player out, but oh man, that flash was just like a moment too late. Exile able to find Boros as he was just looking to clear the corner alongside the pit. Cautious that maybe somebody had been left on the long control. It was on the side of the smoke that the threat truly loomed. 3-man cohort versus the 4 of Gambit. We got syrson inside of the site. One of the 2 ops this round, Hobbit the other in mid. Could make for a curious situation if he decides to go for the cat flank. They may be pinched between the snipers. We'll see. Run boost primed, and
my God.
from the sky, syrson hits his first shot. Coming back in to kill them all. And he's got Gamezilla dead to rights. Hops up, and that other player dead to rights. 4 kills coming in from syrson. He felt that flick from Realize last round and says, I've got you covered.
Sometimes I feel like syrson is just ropz with an op. Like, oh, that's insane. I mean, I feel like most people would even take longer to hit this. What a miraculous flick. That was just beautiful. Wow. There was no tracking on that shot. Clay pigeon.
Shattered. And a 2-round lead for Gambit. Sound being offered here in tunnels, and that movement makes it an easy pickup here for Hobbit. 3rd frag on the anti-eco. Cat peek from syrson. NASR needs a hero, and it could be Gamezilla. Deagle connects to keep that just a 1-man edge. With little to lose, let's see what he's got.
Slow move out towards long. One on cat. And it looks like Gambit are kind of nervously poking around, expecting someone to walk up late cat. There's a chance here to actually score a plant on a timing. No one's always watching the long cross. Eventually, Hobbit will. Though he can't get the last one. It's all on Dementor. Can he get the one deke to open up for the plant? No. Axile will take him out. 8-5 for Gambit. And the dust starts to settle a little bit.
Yeah. Gambit on the strong recovery. Now 4 rounds in a row, no bomb plant. 1 away from being on fire and 2 away from the close. The Deagle clip.
Cinema.
Hey there. Ooh, that was close. Almost threads the needle.
Yeah.
Dementor peeks into long. 2 players ready for that one. Relatively easy pickup. Shiro eats the flash and sees the hands. There's more players just beyond it. Let's see if he can collide them. Splats the first. Eagles out. Damage done. Shiro holds the line even with the sidearm. Exile with that deep A control and confirmation that the bomb here at the bottom of mid. It's a bit of a prolonged spray, but the damage is dealt. Shooting for the double digits is Gambit on this CT side.
Shiro got a deep ang here in the tunnels already. Waiting for that bomb to drop right into his lap. And it looks like that kill is coming soon. Oh, but oh so careful. His game on this peak.
Prius, this makes me anxious.
Odds of a collab? Nope.
Oh, they go for the run boost. Who saw that one coming? Unfortunately, they don't get the perfect moment, which would have been killing him clean, rushing into B and hoping for this other 2v1. Realize with value on his back in the form of the op, but a threat as well behind him. They didn't see him cross over. Kill Hobbit, catwalk, run to the A site, get your bomb plant. You got to do it now. They actually had to do it 5 seconds ago. Now it's a matter of just trying to survive with the big green. We'll see. Oh man, they're gonna come for you, Realize. That's your only exit route. Run mid. Little does he know this. Time expires, and now the real question is, economically, they punish.
Yikes, dead from lower tunnels. That's the op down. Lots of money spent, and here's another look at Shiro. Stands firm with his deagle, and I mean, you can tell he's literally just practicing. He's like, I have the confidence to sit here. I had the chance to fall back. They clearly aren't going to peek in the next second. I could have started to walk it back, made it out to B, but decided not to and went for it. I like the use of the run boosts. The
Seen it a couple times.
Jumanji peaks.
Jumanji.
Swinging out. Gave it their best shot. It's so we got Realize as the only player positive on the team for NASR.
Yes, sir.
At the moment, and we saw a wicked op shot from him at mid. But I mean, everyone's on form for Gambit.
Yep.
Core's looking strong. They're all hitting shots, and they're not getting pushed. Of course, they're not getting pushed. You can see the confidence is just they're just teaming over with confidence still with the way they're peeking things and holding on to angles. They expect to win this game and nothing less. So it's going to take a bit more. And that's when Dust2 gets a bit tricky, because if you can't win your aim duels, you know, you could explain every strat on this map in 15 minutes. There's not much has changed in a long time. There's not a lot that's going to catch him off guard.
Mac 10 spamming through the smoke. And the AK of Boros gets the headshot. It's a bit of an open door, but as one door opens, another closes, and Hobbit looking to flank this 5-man long setup. So they're going to have NASR caged. Shiro finding the op kill. Smoke to work around as well. Could very well catch them off guard. And sure enough, down goes Gamezilla. It's not just the op on site. We've got Inters just next to him. And of course, that flank, that deep position from Hobbit, his lack of fear, establishing early flank control, auto sniper to close out this half. That is salt in the wound. Insult to injury. 6 rounds straight from Gambit to recover what was once a NASR lead. The second pistol after the break. Roll cage definitely takes the cake.
Prime conspiracy. I haven't actually seen anyone use it.
Yeah, I would go for the mecha in the streets. It looks a little bit like the Asimov.
The golden skin is pretty damn badass. That's actually pretty nice. So the golden commemoration.
I guess we'll give our vote to the Valance.
I'll go with the Jin here.
French weapon, easy pick for me here. I'm gonna go with that dirt-covered roll cage.
I don't like pink colors, so I will go for roll cage.
I will go with the war cage because the pink thing on the prim conspiracy is too pink.
I would like more the roll cage. That's what I prefer more, but just because of the colors. By elimination, I'll go with the left one.
A roll cage, but it looks pretty nice. I like it. Maybe I'll get one for myself as well.
For me, it's a roll cage. The pink colors, it's not always good on the skins. So I will prefer roll cage.
I'd rather go with the prime conspiracy. It looks like something fake, and I like it.
If I had to use a skin, it'd probably be the prime conspiracy because I like the bluish to it.
I think I will go with the roll cage. I didn't like the blue and the pink together.
I think the Jin is actually really underrated. The artwork on this is like that 3-dimensional engraving type look, and that's an easy choice for me.
I would go for Valance. Other one, I don't know how to even say this.
The left one looks like a Valorant skin, so let's go for Valorant skin.
The Jin one sounds like a skin that would be featured. It reminds me a little bit of the in-game skins that we had in Crossfire, for example. So I'll go with the Jin.
For my green glows Jin, I will take Jin.
I know the Jin is an old one I used before, but I like the Valance. It looks like really clean and just, yeah, I like the colors on it.
I like the Gene tribals. It reminds me of tattoos, and as you can see, I like very much.
I think we've got to go with the commemoration. It's one of the only full gold skins in all of Counter-Strike.
I would go for commemoration. I had this commemoration before. I had some yellow gloves.
I will go with the gold one.
Oh, I prefer the commemoration one. I like the golden skin.
I will choose commemoration. I think I'm gonna buy it later. The yellow color is best color.
I would go with commemoration, of course. It's a beautiful skin.
Mecha industries for sure, because you can build a kit, the M4, the P250.
I'm gonna go with the commemoration because it's the one I'm using right now. I really like it.
From those two, I like the commemoration one. The enemy is gonna know I'm coming. But at least if they see it's me, they're gonna know it's me, right? Maybe they're gonna be afraid or not, depending on who I'm playing against.
With half of the round count of their opponents, NASR trailing on their map pick, they'll switch over to the defensive side. And now it's Gambit's turn to kind of set the tempo, set the stage, and possibly finish this show quickly. I'm very curious to see if our underdogs can hang on to what could be a ferocious T side.
Yeah, of course on Dust2, you know, or any map, if you're the favorite and you start T side, you kind of do have to sit and wait a little bit sometimes, but on T side they can take the fight to them, can be a little bit more careless about the way they peek, and yeah, it looks like they're gonna come fast.
Nice flash.
Oh yeah, a really great flash.
Perfect.
And they put together the damage as well to pair with it. Hobbit is alone. If he had a bomb, I'd say he had a chance. At this point, you'd say it's very, very unlikely. Bomb at the top of Cat, and it's pretty much round one here from NASR. Really well done with those 2 flashes, actually.
I mean, just great call out. Flashes were great. The 2-3 player setup up on Catwalk, it's exactly what they needed for that moment. Now, don't throw away your chance. You know, if Hobbit had bomb on site, then they'd have to come to him.
You have to peek him. You have to peek him.
And obviously, your instinct is to play a little scared, but Hobbit, oh, he offers his back, and that is where he falls. Bibu with the kill. 4-round lead, still for Gambit, of course, but hey, a pistol round kicks things off. Give him a little bit of extra life in this fight. There was even a T playing counter flat. Okay. Jumping jacks up Catwalk.
Pogo sticks.
Moon shoes.
You have to peek him. Yeah. This is going to go against everything that we've ever learned, fundamental Counter-Strike, but I'm telling you right now, in a game like this, going up against Gambit, don't play this 4v1 properly, okay? Peek his ass. Don't let Hobbit walk around and know playing with so much respect, and then they're sitting in Discord talking about how noob you are, how scared they are, waiting for the next round. Win the round. Believe in yourselves.
Take the shot.
Take the shot.
Spank them.
Maybe double peek him if you can, but
yeah,
do it to get. Go do it.
Quadruple peek, ideally.
Yeah, ideally, if you can. Yeah, might need all four at the same time, but
I do still believe that at any moment Gambit can win a round like this. I think we have to, pay respect to the talent these guys have. This is not a team with an incredibly hard carry. This is from top to bottom. Ooh, a roster firing hot. Realize from the ramp, the hottest player on NASR in that first half. Dies out to the scout. Dementor offering info on his position with the trajectory of the flashbangs. Axile, patient setup back by top mid. And there's some money for the MP9. Swings wide, into sight. Takes 2 off of the SMG and cleans up with that pistol. 4 players standing for the CTs. Hey, win the rounds you can. That was the story on the analyst desk coming into this. It's like the question, for Gambit is if they stomp them 16-2, you could say that's meeting expectations. Even with a win, the closer it gets, it's almost the less impressive.
Yeah, so what's the threshold for you? Because obviously, Gambit are not taking this 100% seriously.
Sure.
So what's the actual score threshold where we can say NASR actually had like really good CT side here, or we're a pretty good team in this game?
You know what, man? I'm going to throw it to just double digits. If you can take double digits off a team like Gambit when you're not even ranked inside the top 100, that's a success story in my book.
Fair enough.
Ambitious.
We'll see if it's possible. Yeah, it was a nice shot. 22-9 is shiro. Some great shots from both him and Realize.
2-9. I didn't even realize.
I'm sure he didn't either, It's just another day for shiro.
Shiro and Simple with ones in their name.
That's the only thing they have in common, though.
Yep.
Shiro really is so much like ropz. He plays way in the back. He's like 4th or 5th in. He's baiting, but in a sensible way, like he's supposed to. He's just plays slow. He's too careful. Wins all his clutches. In terms of play styles, really not too many other operas like him.
Oh, hey there.
That get the stats that he does.
Boros cleaning up the catwalk with 3 kills on his AUG. And then Bibu takes the exact same position. So NASR not playing scared in that round. I mean, you'd think Gamezilla goes out middle. You go down to the 4v5. You could see the potential for a reaction to just be incredibly cautious, but don't let that snowball get rolling. They continue into tunnels. They gather their information. They find this exact ideal setup. 2 guys with backs turned, easy pickups, and the final kill as well. So a 2-round lead, but a bye on the cards for Gambit. This is the real test for NASR now. See if they can string together 4 CT round wins.
Is NASR like how they say NASA in Australia, maybe?
Could be, yeah. Crikey.
That's all my material for the day.
Yeah, I was saying yesterday, with the potential for this blowout, I hope we're really on our game today.
You said I hope we're funny tomorrow because this game might be short. But maybe we don't have to be, because within 2 rounds now. So Roll Eyes posting up here the same way that Shiro did on this pick. Not that he invented it by any means. Oof, don't do that. That's a bit scary. Okay, they put enough pressure to be able to fall back. They definitely could have got punished there, but
sees a player re-peeks with a frag out.
Yeah, kind of got lucky with the way the molly landed.
Could have been way worse for Realize. He's still a part of this one. As much as Shiro's topping the scoreboard on the Gambit camp, it is Realize we look to with open eyes.
Uh-oh, they didn't see this.
Nope, not ready for this one. You've got 4 players between your 3-man A setup. At least that long flank's coming forward, but Boros taking the fight to bottom middle has a challenge up close. It collapses in a moment. 2 kills back the other direction, sure enough, but the damage has been done. The bomb has been planted. The control still belongs to Nafany. They had no idea he was down here, and Realize looking to just maybe survive with that valuable AWP.
That was textbook. Great pressure on the exec, and yeah, it was already too late by the time NASR knew what was coming their way. Gambit just executed everything perfectly. Getting into spawn very, very kind of quickly, I guess, is the key. Obviously not quietly because it lands hard, but with enough nades to distract. And yeah, if there was more time to maybe go for this, we would see that, but instead Gambit will win. And that was pretty standard. Yeah, they saw the op, they expected where the rotation would go to. They realized after putting that pressure on Cat was running backwards, not going to go into CT just in case it was a fast Cat exec. And then, of course, that leaves B a little bit weaker. So they went fast into that, took control of CT spawn. And that's such a nice way to mid to B because, you know, instead of having to deal with people shooting over the mid B smoke, take CT control. If you get that drop off, you have all of CT. Your mid B guys have a clear path to run. They don't get shot down through the smoke on their way to the B site. And their vision is obscured from the deep CT smoke, not from the mid B smoke.
Smooth like a hot knife through butter, that last one. Now this time it's all long from Gambit. We've got a boost going on the catwalk for NASR right now, looking to get that vision down into the lower tunnels, but there is no presence there. There could be eventually, because with a pit player established for Gambit, they double back. More than a minute, of course, on the clock. They've got time to make their moves.
This is interesting. It's exactly what NASR did. So going back towards tunnels, the other round that NASR did this, we had Nafny, of course, meeting them when they came back. This time there won't be any friction for them in the upper tunnels. And they seem pretty confident about it, running most of the way here. Ready to clear stuff out. And they actually have still two people holding back with the, you know, player in pit, but also Hobbit at the top of mid.
Yep. Had NASR committed to that initial setup of the op watching tunnels, this was how long they would have had to hold exactly that to maybe find the opening pick they hoped for. Instead, they laid down some utility towards catwalk. Still time to spare here to the favor of Gambit, but not that much more. That's a T-side molly, in fact, landing. Oh, the backpack.
Doesn't hit.
Doesn't hit. That's massive. shiro, he could have just got the 5v4, but it's enough to scramble the feet of Dementor and realize he is so caught in the open. This is a crucial op duel, and shiro doesn't even need to commit. Just distract him, hold his eyes. But he does survive long enough for his teammates to get on site and to then take down Dementor. Borrows all that remains, and he gets cracked wide by Hobbit. 2 headshots coming in from middle. A bit of a laugh for him in the Gambit camp. They've got themselves a 4-round lead and another gun round win.
Yeah, like you said, the round's already won. Realize has no choice but to focus forward on pit, but there's no reason to give him that fight too early. Once he does, it doesn't matter that he dies. The round is already over, and yeah, so Gambit, there's an interesting use of time because they still had 30 seconds to go forward with the cat exec, which was perfectly fast enough, and they also cleared out a tunnels push in case after that long control NASR went to push and try to get some info back. But since they didn't, yeah, they were kind of stuck. No long control, nothing on cat, and that just shows you, I mean, it shows you that Gambit are now kind of trying to do stuff cleanly as well, which is good, but that NASR can't really keep up with that.
They're doing things clean. They're not, trying to add a layer of shock value to any of these executes. You know?
These are nice to watch, actually.
Yeah, it's just, I don't mean this with any disrespect, but it's kind of like getting to watch Gambit practice a little.
Exactly. It looks more like a dry run when it's a team that's just not as used to it. So they don't know how to disrupt it as easily. And of course, that stuff is very hard to see from the outside.
4 kills from Hobbit to close out what was this B push. They felt their hands were tied, needed to get some info, had nothing to work with. So, nothing mind-boggling here from Hobbit, but he uses the anti-eco to get within 5 kills of shiro, now the second highest on Gambit, and another buy-up from the defense. So let's see if they can adapt, if they can overcome, if they can maybe let themselves off the leash a little bit and catch Gambit by surprise. If Gambit are running such textbooks, then maybe it falls on the challengers to take us off the beaten path.
In my opinion, if I was NASR and I saw that long control last round, I would have just assumed Gambit were just going to continue with 5 long instead of making a round like that where it looks like they're actually trying quite hard. And in the first half, we saw so much kind of disrespect. So I'm almost not surprised they didn't even bother pushing anything. They were just like, oh, they're probably just going to go 5 long, and it's still going to be hard for us. So mentally, it's quite curious to see what they'll expect out of these future rounds. But it's another slow-paced one here. Establishing, maintaining tension, and not giving up too much control, but There is a curious CT in the tunnels. And a false smoke that lens as well. Nafany's gonna get punished on this drop.
He's supposed to be, and he will be. If it wasn't realized, it was one of the other two teammates, but they've got backs turned down in middle. Enters. Oh, that could have been a huge moment for him. Hobbit may be on the recovery.
It's a nice fake.
Tries to damage up these CTs down in spawn. There's 2 of them in spawn and 2 of them coming up within this catwalk. Hobbit kind of caught for a moment, but he recovers his positioning and takes a 3rd player with him. This is all Hobbit here in the 22nd round. And the op shot from Shiro to seal the deal alongside Exile. A 2v2 moment, all created by Gambit and Hobbit in particular.
Yeah, the rotations came fast. He could have definitely died. He should have, actually. Boros, I think, fluffed his spray a little bit. I can't believe how many times Hobbit just kept repeating the CT and then still kept fighting off Cat as well. He's like jaCkz in an arcade. Leave me alone. Killing everybody. But the fake was cool. They killed Nafany. They're like, oh no, the mid B's coming again.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nafany with a nade out. I think, you know, as much as we go back to that last round and kind of praise Gambit for still playing a textbook CS, you know, playing it more complicated than they had to. You saw in that last one with Hobbit's ability to continue re-peaking that, like, they're also very well aware of the difference in talent.
Yeah, the individual skill difference is there as well.
And so they're playing both sides of the coin.
Some people ask me, like, oh, what's the difference between, like, a global elite and, like, a, you know, a pro player or something? And some people believe that, like, a global elite skill-wise is as good as a pro player. Still, it's not even close.
Hate to break it to you guys.
Metrics, it looks very relatable, but by all metrics, basically, you know, a team, like a pro team and an upper-level team, they still have better mechanics, still better individual skill, basically every single dimension of them.
Here comes Hobbit, you know, has the chance, as he did last round, to just flex a little skill here. GameZilla falls off the angle. Hobbit, the front runner. Oh, this dude, so crisp. Hobbit moves it forward. Has now officially, almost, with this kill, he could catch up with Shiro, making the most of his anti-ecos, padding the stats.
Yeah, this one, this is for the, you know, top 20 players list. Okay, this is one of the games that'll help you pad those stats.
I mean, Hobbit, one of the, you know, in the last 5 years of HLTV Top 2020, one of the very few CIS players to actually crack that list. If you're not Simple, Electronic, or Hobbit, I believe Adren as well, alongside Hobbit during Gambit's run in 2017. That's it, man. It's a short list.
For CIS players in the top 20?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Please do. But those are the 4 I know off the top of my head. And the bomb pops, killing Gambit, but they're still on fire. And that logo looks good engulfed in flames. Look at this, man, just chopping them down. I mean, Gambit, they have such a nice blend of, like, being zoom aimers and big brainers.
Like zoomer?
Yeah, zoomer aimers and big brainers.
Yeah, very scary. Ever since that new logo hit. Just took a chip out of the corner, that was it. Unlock the power.
Unleash their stars. Hobbit wastes no time.
Oh, I like that. That was good.
Takes a little bit of frag damage. Let's see it, NASR. Keep this game going. This is your map choice. After this one, we move to Vertigo no matter what happens here on out. And, you know, you asked the question at the start of the series, do you take it to a complicated map or do you try to go toe-to-toe in terms of aim? We're going to get both of those flavors. And Hobbit, well, he's able to find himself one. Shiro calculating his op shot, predicts the trajectory. Man advantage for Gambit to close out on, and that is what we have here, folks. A close on Dust2. There was moments in the first half where you could see Gambit maybe playing this a little lackadaisical, offering a chance to NASR to see what they were made of, to test their mettle. But now it's Shiro from behind to close, a shot to the spine from the Tech 9.